All right, let's get started on our sky. Now, I said I'm not going to try to duplicate this perfectly, but I'm at least going to use it to kind of give us a framework to work from. One of the things that I will do a lot when I am laying out a drawing in pastel is I will use white chalk as kind of a sketching medium just to give me a feel for where I want things to be. So I'm going to start my hill up here. If you notice, that's about where this one is. I'm going to come across from my mountains. Not a lot of detail at this point. I just want to get a feel for where I'm going to put things. The rest of the foreground I'm not going to worry about, and we'll come back to that later. So I'm going to get the practice sheet out of the way here. Okay, now I have a general idea where my sky is going to go. When I work with or draw in a sky in regular chalk, I will usually use four colors. I'll use white, I'll use a dark blue, and then I will use a medium blue, and then a light blue. So those are pretty much the four colors I work with. Occasionally I will throw in a little bit of gray, and sometimes, not always, but sometimes I'll put a little peach into some clouds just to warm them up a little bit, because these are all very cool colors here. So that's where we're going to start. Now, to draw clouds is fairly easy. You're going to use kind of an overhand circular motion. Now, a lot of times when we draw clouds, we just kind of draw a little circle in the sky, and that's our cloud. But we want clouds that are going to look like what you see when you look up in the sky. And the one thing that you're going to notice is that, one, they're not all white, and two, they're not very uniform. And although there are times when you will see just individual clouds like that, more often than not, you're going to want to blend things together so you don't just have a bunch of for lack of a better word, cotton balls up there. So I'm going to start out, and I'm going to use some white, and I'm just going to lay in some white where I would like my clouds to be. Now notice I'm using the side of the chalk. I'm not using the flat side like that. I'm actually using the corner side, and that gives me a nice edge to work with. I go over that there, and I'm just going to lay in some white. And this is, again, very similar to what I do in a chalk drawing. If you look at the sky, go outside, particularly on a clear day, you'll notice that toward the horizon, the sky tends to be a lighter blue than it is up toward the top. So that's why I have three shades of blue, and I'm going to come in here, and again, using the side again, I'm going to just lay in some of that really dark blue. And then I'm going to come with my medium blue and begin to transition down a little bit, overlap that other blue. It's okay to overlap the white, because we're going to blend all this in just a minute. Okay, and then I'm going to come down and come in with my light blue. And these particular colors are very, very similar to what I use when I draw with lecturer's chalk. There are a lot of different possibilities, okay, but those three colors are very often my bread and butter when I do a sky. Now, at this point, as you look right now, most of my white has been covered up. I'm going to go in and just restore it just a little bit. Okay, I'm not going to do a whole lot at this point in terms of detail. And one thing that you have to be careful to is remember that detail in a picture is what draws your eye. So as we do this picture, we need to keep in mind, let me get my reference picture back again, we need to keep in mind where we want the eye to go. And if we have too much detail, it may pull us away from the center of attention. Of course, in this picture, the center of attention is going to be our post and sparrow. So when we do clouds in the sky, it's okay to have some detail, but you want to be careful that the detail is not so sharp and so strong that it's going to, that the people are just going to look at the sky and they're not going to look at the rest of your picture. Okay, I've still got I've got my wet wipe here. Okay, I'm going to dry the fingers a little bit. Okay, I'm going to come in and I'm going to actually start in the white and go out to the blue. Again, at this point we're sort of just laying the foundation for our clouds. Okay, and that's pretty good. I'm going to shake off some of that excess chalk dust there. Okay, so we've got a foundation started for our sky. I'm going to probably go in and darken this top area just a little bit. And push down a little harder than I did last time because I want that to get more chalk. Okay, that's good. All right, I'm going to come in, but instead of using white at first, I'm going to start with my lighter blue, and I'm going to let the base of the clouds be done in a light blue color. Okay. Again, I use my fingers. You'll notice I'm working pretty quickly here. You don't have to, but for me, one of the fun things about working with chalk is being able to work quickly. I'm feeling, there we go. I got a little nub under there, and I was feeling that. Okay. Okay, I'm going to come back in. And I'm actually using the blues to create some of the cloud shapes here. Okay, gotta come in again, just kind of a circular motion with the fingers. Let's shake off a little of the excess chalk dust. Okay. All right, so okay, now I will come in with my white. Again, using the side of the chalk, but kind of a circular motion. Okay, because I don't want these clouds to just be real eye-catching and dramatic. They're going to be more background. And laying out a little bit more. And you can play with this all day and come up with all sorts of different results. I'm going to use my light blue here, come in again, but this time more underneath the clouds. I'm going to try to give sort of a feel of, you know, the bottoms of some of them sideways. Okay, soften that because that's actually going to be sky. Now I said we were going to use some fluorescent to create a little bit of a sunset effect. We've got the fluorescent red and fluorescent yellow orange. Let me clean my fingers off just a bit. And I just come in here, just hit the undersides of the clouds. Some of the red, the farther away on a sunset, the higher in the sky, or the farther away the reflection, then the redder the light tends to be. So as we get closer to the horizon, we want to shift more to yellow, or actually orange. I have a yellow-orange, but it looks more of an orangish color. Okay. Okay, so real simple little sunset effect there. You can come in if you want to, just add a few highlights here. You don't want to add a ton simply because, again, the sun, if we're doing a sunset, the sun is going down. It's going to actually be behind and beneath those clouds, so you're not going to have a real, dramatic show in the clouds. If I did have anything up here, it's going to be more of the sunset color. But because, again, we don't want to draw too much attention to the sky, just coming in and making a nice cloud feel. Very cloudy sky, and in the face of that storm, God's eye is going to be on the sparrow. Okay, so that's step one. Get the sky in there, play with it a little bit, don't overwork it, but just remember to use the side and the edge of your chalk so that you don't have a bunch of straight lines that you're drawing there. Pretty much you want to get that feel, go with a circular movement on the side and make your clouds. And we'll come back, and next thing we're going to do is we're going to do our distant hills.